Here we are in sunny Baltimore.
This evening we will be speaking about lungs. Awesome. We're going to transfer chi, prana, life force, and how to maximize the oxygen through into the cell, through the cell membrane. So and Rita will lead us through the panels. Some of them, there will be more at a later stage, but we're going to be just touching on the juicy parts this evening. And to introduce us to this wonderful life force, and Desi, thank you for the beautiful videos that you do send us. Over to you guys.
Okay. I'll let Rita show you some more about the buttons, etc. But what I wanted to tell everybody is that oxygen is our #1 nutrient. We get deficient in oxygen every couple of seconds. We have to breathe in and we breathe out. Now, most people are only getting the benefit of 25 to 30% of their lungs. They're only getting a small percentage of their lung cells to work. Okay. So I started, this was about maybe 2 years ago, and I turned onto a YouTube video about the Iceman, William Off, and he had discovered that if he were to get complete breathing, and he had a technique of 30 deep breaths. Take out your stomach, then your chest, even up into your sinuses. Deep breath, expand your chest, expand your stomach, everything. Try to maximize all of the different cells inside your lungs. And he had people do this for 30 breaths. At the end of 30 breaths, there was a lot of oxygen, in the body. And I started doing it. And what I found was I no longer got colds. I no longer got infections. Rita got COVID. I didn't get it, etc.
It's true.
My body was, because oxygen is a #1 nutrient, essential for every biological process. Every biological process will involve some type of oxygen. So when I started getting my body full of oxygen, once or twice a day, not every breath, you don't go through all day. You don't do that. But it's a type of exercise that the yogas called the bellows. The bellows, getting the lungs complete. And I found that if I did this, even for just 10 breaths a day, I didn't have to do 30. But if I could do 10 breaths in a row, 10 deep, deep, deep breaths, just once or twice a day, that I was going to start developing lung capacity. Different parts of the lungs that normally would be shriveling up because they're not being used at 25%. Now I could get up over 50% of my lungs just by doing 10 extra breaths. I want you people, as you're doing the calibration, teach the person while they're doing the calibration to do the deep breath. And it's simply stick out the stomach, then the chest, expand, inhale, exhale.
Then the brain will get enough oxygen, thinking and everything, the mindset will be clearer and clearer. This is also a great technique for stress reduction and anxiety.
4, 5. Now, you're the therapist. You're sitting there watching. One of the things is you don't want people to hyperventilate, get too much oxygen. What turns on our breathing is not oxygen or lack of oxygen. What turns on the breathing is accumulated carbon dioxide. If you get too much oxygen, you hyperventilate, you don't get enough oxygen, and your carbon dioxide levels will go down, and all of a sudden you can't take a breath because it's carbon dioxide buildup. So as you're doing this, this is why I found 10 breaths was better than the 30 because I've never found anybody to hyperventilate with just 10 deep breaths. I'm getting them to expand and get breaths, but now you're the therapist. You have to watch them because the danger is they might hyperventilate. And then they, quote, forget to breathe.
They suppress the oxygen and the air, and that can lead to anxiety, fear.
But they suppress the carbon dioxide.
Exactly.
Because you get so much oxygen that
And
your carbon dioxide goes down. It's carbon dioxide that turns on your breathing. Okay?
if it is suppressed, then it causes an extra amount of stress for the whole body.
If this happens to your patient, if they hyperventilate for any reason, they could be hyperventilating because they're talking about something, and they could hyperventilate. That's why we would take a paper bag, see? Breathe in and out of the paper bag, because when you're doing that, breathing in and out of the paper bag, you're breathing in and out carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide's coming out, and you're breathing that back in. That's going to stabilize your breath. So that's why I believe 10 breaths is good. The time during the calibration is a perfect time to teach them this. And you teach them that they should do this once or twice a day. They don't need to do it anymore. They shouldn't be doing it every breath. But by doing this, they're going to start to get more of the lung into receiving oxygen, you see, because so many people, they just don't ever work that lung capacity up. Now, Rita's a bodybuilder. She's always going into the aerobics and doing that. And she's pushing it. But even her lung capacity is probably not going beyond 75, 80%. In order to do that, she has to learn the bellows. You have to do this yoga exercise.
I do belly breathing every day, and now what I discovered that adding some running exercise and some high intensity cardio to my training increases my lung capacity.
The bellows, really, now we're starting to kick on about 90%. If you're really good, you can start to get higher.
There are many studies that show that people don't use the whole capacity of their lungs. And
yeah. So by doing this, teaching them this during the calibration, you got a time during the calibration to teach them this. And if they want to be conscious of their breath during the test, that's fine. But don't let them do the deep belly breathing and the chest breathing. Don't let them do the deep breathing more than, maybe 20, 30 breaths. Just tell them to do that a couple of times. You don't want them to hyperventilate. If they start to hyperventilate, you might want to get a small bag handy, okay? And every time people get anxious, they get anxiety.
Because they have lack of oxygen, and they suppress the breathing because they do chest breathing, and that causes the extreme amount of stress.
They get anxious.
And anxiety.
It isn't lack of oxygen. Sometimes it's lack of carbon dioxide. So stable breathing, slow breathing, slow, steady belly breathing, slow, steady. Inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Slow breathing will cure any type of anxiety. But what I want to teach you now, talk about lungs, teach your patients how to utilize and increase the activity of the alveoli, the little cells inside your lungs. Increase more of them into receiving oxygen. And gradually, within a course of a couple of weeks, all of their biological processes will improve. Their intellect, their hormones, everything. Because oxygen is the number one
nutrient.
Okay?
Oxygen is a very
Rita's
important
going to go
nutrient.
through some buttons. You got the machine hooked up, right?
Yeah, I already have the machine. I have to do screen share. I'm welcoming everybody today. I'll
be right here.
Daisy, just before you go, obviously, breathing is the one thing, but also the oxygen needs to get through the lungs, the alveoli, through the one cell membrane into the blood, and then picked up by the hemoglobin, carried to the cell wall membrane, which needs to have the right minus 90 millivolt potential in order for the osmotic effect of the oxygen to transfer through into the cell to make our energy and all the rest of it. So whilst the breathing is important, we also need to take cognizance of that fact. What
does that mean?
Desiree,
I get what you're saying. But what does that mean to the patient?
That means to the patient, if they have plaque in the lungs, if they have a bacterial infection, a mycoplasma, fluid, mucus, phlegm in the lungs, then it's the lung surface area is reduced, which means lower oxygen coming through. If the cell membrane is not 90 millivolt, minus 90 millivolts, then that means that the oxygen will swim past the cell.
Absolutely, but by doing the exercise, you will be slowly increasing the ability. So the exercise is essential to get the oxygen. But you're saying that there's other things. Other things need to be dealt with. Good food, good air, good energy, all these other things, handling infections. But you're infectious. What happened? We went away. Oh,
I put this on now.
Exactly. So see, the energetic balance of the membrane is very important. So there's a whole bunch of other things. But slowly, by getting oxygen, you'll be increasing it, and you will be helping the body. But it's very important what Jane is saying. Absolutely, there's a lot more to health than just taking some bellows breath. But but I'm telling you that during the calibration process, you got an excellent time to teach the patient the bellows. Teach them how to get a little more oxygen during the day. The machine is going to be working on that membrane.
For example, showing people yoga exercises, breathing techniques,
but
Kundalini, what Jane also mentioned.
What she's showing us here, this cell membrane, that's my picture. Basically, that is all about the cell membrane having the right balance of the alkaline and the acid and the electrical permeability of the membranes. The machine automatically, through the harness, starts to work on this. And the effect of the harness is 1,000 times greater than in subspace. The harness will work on that slide right there. And the harness will address that electrical issues, whether you have too much electrons or too little electrons. Most of our patients have too little electrons. And the body, the machine will be balancing that factor automatically every step of the way. Every time you do anything with any treatment whatsoever with the machine, first thing the machine does is tries to fix your voltage, amperage, resistance, hydration, oxidation, proton pressure, VARHOPE, which is the picture.
So that's because of the action of the harness on the corpus callosum.
Well, no, it's a harness on the whole body, the body electric.
The whole body. All right.
The harness is designed to be on the ankles and the wrist and the head, so that the whole body electric is now measured, and we see if the whole body electric, what the voltage is, what the amperage is, what the resistance is, what the hydration index, the oxidation, and the computer is automatically trying to fix those. It would be impossible for any therapist to do the work that the computer does automatically. It's impossible for anybody to lift up the phone and hear a fax machine and say, "Oh, that's a fax about," because all you hear is. Okay. So the technology of the machine is such that it addresses the body automatically. No therapist could do this quick enough to make it happen. And the machine is automatically fixing things and bringing them into balance, etc. By you teaching them to breathe, you're going to start to get more and more oxygen. Then things work better. The machine is going to increase osmolarity. And osmosis is going to be, because of the little bit of electrical stimulation. Now nutrients come into the cell and toxins go out better. So now all of life happens easier, because life is all about taking in nutrition and sending out toxins, detoxifying. We need to do all these things. We need to detox first, so then we can bring in nutrition, because you can't bring in nutrition if you haven't detoxed. You can't
100%.
You can't enjoy Thanksgiving or Christmas. You can't enjoy Christmas dinner if you haven't shit for 5 days. Okay. You can't enjoy that nice glass of your favorite beverage if you haven't pissed in a week. You have to detox and then be able to put in nutrition. So
we have to make sure that we enhance the whole body circulation so we can actually connect to our own life force.
But all of the factors that you showed in that picture are automatically being done by any process that you do. This is the beauty of the machine. There's so much that it's working just automatically. Okay.
Exactly.
Now, Rita's going to guide you through little things. And I don't like the word protocol. We always like to search. What is the reaction of the patient today? What's the patient telling us? So
yeah, that's why, Jane, I mentioned for you that for the lungs and for oxygen, it is not so wise to do a whole group because it's a very particular and complex
when we do the group,
topic. So
you see, somebody
should be for like an individual patient, so we can ask back and forth questions.
So
let us, the patient, to also guide.
When Rita's thinking, what do I do for lungs? Then see, that's her little brain is thinking what to do for lungs. Okay. She has a lot of information, but the purpose of this machine is to tell you what does the patient need today for their lungs.
Yeah, we can get insights from the machine, but we also need to rely and completely communicate and consult with the patient where the machine, where her body leads us together.
And sometimes the patient is telling you, I have problems in the kidney. So, okay, well, before we can get to the lungs, we got to do a little service to the kidney, you see?
Yeah.
So this is where.
So what we're saying is know the panels, but wait for the, in real time representation that the patient presents to you, and then you're able to operate from there. So all we're doing is showing where the panels are. We're not doing any methodology.
Right. So she's going to show you panels and etc. She could run the group as a patient, and things will come up, and she'll have to follow them or not follow them depending on.
Or if anybody would like to be a patient, then we can actually do the SOC live and ask the questions. We can also do that.
But the treatment of the oxidation potential of the membranes is happening no matter what treatment you do.
Exactly.
So
it is a little bit more specific and more informational if we do one particular person, but we can also do a group.
All right, but today we're only doing a couple of the panels because it's very vast, and we can talk about the other panels, and maybe at a later stage we can have a longer session one day when we do all the detox organs: the gut, the lungs, the liver, the kidney, the skin. Maybe include the lymph and the blood. But today, thanks very much. We're gonna all right. Over to you, Rita. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much for everybody. I'm going to do the screen share right now. One moment. Do you see my demographics here? Jane, do you see the screen?
Yes, we do.
Okay, so should we do the group again, or?
Yes, why not?
Okay.
We have it ready, so it's fine.
Yeah, okay.
So Rita's going to be taking us through the commonly used panels, and there really are a lot. So we'll do the main dynamic ones today. They're all dynamic, but anyway, what she's doing now, she's loaded the 365 Healthy by Choice group, which means all of us who are listening in. And she's going to calibrate, and she's going to run the 11,000 frequencies, get the red panel VAHOPE readings up, which will already give us a cell vitality reading. So Rita, you'll read out to us, please, the cell vitality, and you will read out also the oxygen level inside the cell. Now, everybody needs to know that when we're using the quantum software, it's not like an oximeter where you're measuring the oxygen in the blood saturation levels. That's all the sort of medical profession have to use. We are working inside that cell. So if an oximeter is giving you 96% or whatever, it may well be that inside the cell you're sitting on 78% oxygen. So that's why in real time we are getting and understanding exactly the workings in the cell and whether that membrane potential is appropriate enough to allow 95% of the oxygen through. And it's really the biggest downfall of the ventilator and people who are, hospitalized, because they're shoving cold air down a warm throat. They're damaging the trachea, forcing the oxygen through into the blood, measuring blood saturation levels, but nobody's measuring the cell vitality and the oxygen inside the cell. So as soon as they start trying to get off the ventilator, they can't, because everything just collapses. So we really are one step ahead, and that is the value of quantum medicine. And in real time, I can test anybody. I can see exactly what's happening inside the cell. And that gives me the clues, because as Desi said, and said many times today, oxygen is the number one nutrient. If we don't get that in, we've got 3 minutes and we'll pass. So, it's nourishing us, but at the same time, oxygen also pulls the envelope off the free radicals in the body. It pulls the electron envelope right off, rendering the particles inactive. So it has a massive detoxification effect at the same time as nourishing us. So that's why I, as a practitioner, use a lot of oxygen to work with. And as Desi said as well, most people are sitting on 75% oxygen, which is it's not good at all. And imagine, your cell phone battery on 75%, not ever 100%, that kind of thing. So we have to, on a personal level, use our posture, breathe properly, and train our clients, and oxygenate the air. Look at magnesium oxide. Look at cell vitality oxyminerals. They're on the 365 Healthy Bio's website. And also using something like a supercell oxygen, which has got cordyceps, medicinal mushroom, Siberian ginseng, gotcha cola, bacopa, and so on, ginkgo, which will also will oxygenate the brain, but also assist with the transfer of oxygen across these various membranes. We need oxygen transferase enzyme to do that. A probiotic like the microbiome reset, which is a live probiotic with enzymes, has got the appropriate oxygenase enzymes to assist that oxygen move through. Remember, enzymes are important for every process. So we need that proper oxygen transfer, and those products I mentioned, including now bee pollen, will assist the body, the cells, uptake the oxygen too, because of their direct effect on the cell membrane. Flaxseed oil has a direct effect on the cell membrane potential as well. Not only cleaning it from all the old clogged oil that's sitting on it, but cleaning it up and rebalancing that cell membrane to minus 90 millivolts. Okay, so that's all critical. That's why Desi, Rita, and myself really advocate flaxseed oil. The other oils do not do it to the same extent. They do not have the life force that the flaxseed oil has, amongst all the other things that it's doing. So just by way of an introduction there, Rita, how far are you?
I'm doing the test. You see the screen. You can also see the oxygenation, the Warhope, the amperage, and we are waiting for the test to be done. Right now it is done.
All right. So let's go through that right now, Rita, so that it makes sense to people. Can everybody see the O there, the oxygen 68? That's 68%, 68 out of 100. That is lower than average for our group, right? Because Desi said most people are on 75%. We as a group are sitting on 68%. 68% oxygen, that's getting ready for, some intubation and, oxygen in the hospital. So we all are having a low function, we're functioning not optimally, and we could all do with massive doses of oxygen and this breathing that Desi's talking about. You can go to the Wim Hof, you can do Ayurvedic alternative nostril breathing. You can just breathe. Go outside and breathe every hour on the hour.
Jane, I might have to restart the computer, but it's not sure. It says unexpected error. Wait for a second.
Oh, all right, not a problem. So that oxygen level is what us as therapists use. There are other readings there too. We'll be explaining more of that to you another time. And then there was a cell vitality reading. Did you get it, Rita?
Yes. I was looking at the test right now, and the adrenal weakness was the number one here on the test, if you mean that.
Okay, so that is the adrenals, chronic fatigue.
Yes.
And 6 out of 7 people, Desi has told us, have a flat battery. How does your cell phone work if it's working on, if it's where that battery's about to go flat? A candle that's burning really low, a light bulb that you can't get bright. That's what we're talking about here. And as Desi said as well, the more your breathing apparatus, your lungs, your nose, your blood, your cell membrane is trained through breathing.
And even the adrenals come up here in the body viewer, so I started to run them here.
All right.
We run here this at the background, and I will also look here for the acupuncture and finding the lung to run it in the background.
Okay, so we're in the NLP, and
this is body viewer.
But body viewer, and we are choosing the panels here today to start supporting the lungs, lung capacity, cell membrane potential, and also raising the charge of the body electric, the adrenals.
Yeah, in the meantime, I picked here the circulation, what was in the highest risk. And from here on, we can go forward to the homotoxicology. As soon as we rectify this panel on 100, we can continue in homotox or in short barcodes and keep on working on lungs and breathing.
Rita, what was the cell vitality? Can you go to the red panel at some stage?
Of course.
I just want to log it so that I can show everybody, and then when you get a chance.
I will go back to the main page in a second.
I'm not showing my picture because I'm sitting here in the dark, okay? But I'm right here, and Rita, should I lose electrical connection, you just carry on, okay?
No, feel free to talk. I'm really enjoying.
You know what? I'm saying something different. If the amount of electricity I have, if something happens to me, if I leave the room, you carry on until the end. Okay.
All right.
Don't worry if it says Jane's left the room. It shouldn't, but I'm just giving you the heads up on that.
All right.
All right. So now Rita's putting circulation in because, of course, why would she put circulation in? Why would it be top? Because that oxygen level is so low, 68%. We need to now, whilst the software is already working on all the membrane potentials, we are now working on the circulation, which is the red blood cell carrying the oxygen, the vital oxygen to all the cells of the body. So perfect. Every quantum assessment has its own story. And that's what Desi was saying. We wouldn't predict this ahead of time. We wouldn't have a methodology written down in front of us. We will work with the information that comes up in real time from the collective subconscious. Okay, so now Rita's looking at the toxicity panel. Why? Because Desi told us, detox, then nourish, obviously.
There is prana and flow blockage, oxygen and nutrition, as soon as we clicked on the lungs and breathing.
Blockage of prana. So this is the life force. Who wants to be walking around with a blocked life force? We are here. We need life force. We thrive on life force. Life force is prana. It's chi. It's the number one. It's what we need. It's electron flow. And so you can see here with all of us in the group here, we have a blockage of the prana. Are we exercising? Are we breathing? Are we getting in the sunshine? Are we eating life force food, whole foods? Are we living on processed food, restaurant ordered food, eating when we can, enough raw food in the diet? Are we consuming life force foods? So we really need to get this point today that we need life force. Rita, is anywhere showing us mineral deficiency? We'll come to that, eh? In fact, you can see here also damaged cessation of oxidative phosphorylation in damaged mitochondria, failure of ATP-dependent pump, so that more calcium and sodium ions enter the cell. So that sodium-potassium pump is critical here, first of all, and you can check that on the mineral panel. But what we're saying here is basically the energy is not being produced. So we all have a much lower energy than we should have, and we've just got used to it. And that's quite dangerous. We're seeing a metabolic error, we're seeing metal toxicity, asbestos toxicity. So with the whole detox happening, the software is operating to detoxify and nourish as the electrical potential restores itself. Lack of oxygen in the liver. Well, then how do we detoxify? All right, so we've got to charge these adrenals. And the other point here is we need minerals to charge. We need conductive minerals to charge the body. We need gold, silver, copper, nickel, cobalt, iridium, osmium, palladium, platinum, ruthenium. These are the conductive metals that charge the body. So these metals, if they're in the right concentration in the body, it's like putting the plug in and switching on. We need sufficient of these. And Rita, I'm just going to say that most people have got terribly low copper. Some people as low as minus 50. Imagine how dim that candle is burning. Imagine how low the light bulb is. Okay, because it's basically like 10% of a cell phone battery. It's flat. So we've got to get those minerals in first of all. That's why when we do the nutrition panel, it's always minerals first.
Yeah, and we need healthy enzymes to be able to digest and restore all these minerals, and also healthy digestion for the liver and for the body to be able to restore all the healthy needed nutrients.
Hmm. So where are you now?
I'm still in the homotoxicology panel, and now I actually was working here on this lower panel, what shows the whole collection of reactions here for lungs and oxygen.
You see there pneumonia and hepatitis, cholangitis. So basically the lungs and the liver are two big organs. And I want to, if you just move that blue panel, Rita, I want to show sadness. I want people to see that word sadness. Just move your blue panel to the side. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, you see here. So fear, and then here, sadness, covered with false joy. So most people, where there are liver issues, plaque on the liver, mycoplasmas, infections, pneumonias, bronchitis, COPD, asthma, emphysema, there will be an emotional tray here of sadness. Generally, it's in the ancestral lineage. So we need to look at it carefully there and process this out with the quantum skio, because we can do that. We can look at the emotion, and we'll most likely, we don't have time for everything today, but we will see sadness, and we can actually then help the person through the consultation and counseling with them to uncover that sadness. Once we do that, remember, we're dealing with physical, neurological, emotional, and spiritual. So emotions need to be dealt with. Absolutely. So this fear is coming up a few times, and then the sadness, which is important. And I'm going to the top here, abnormal DNA-dependent RNA synthesis. Right, so that would be your nuclear proteins, uracil, guanine, adenine, thymine, and cytosine. So the product we use, the 365, is replica RNA DNA. It provides the body with the 5 nuclear proteins that are essential. You normally get it from eating the organs, heart, liver, brain, etc. We don't do that anymore. You can get an amount from beans and things, but not enough. So we're finding that also with radiation and toxicity, the chromosomal human genome gets damaged, and we get SNPs, we get diseases, and by consuming the replica RNA DNA, we're able to align this, and on top of it, going to the DNA panel in the universal programs, and you can then look at all 23 chromosomes and all the genetic foci. All right, so Rita, you'll see also on the main matrix, you'll often see chromosomal abnormalities.
Yes.
And that's what that is. We've got to go and restore the human genome, because the disease will carry on. Lipidosis will carry on, cancer will carry on.
Right now I'm in the nutrition panel. You would like me to show something else, or?
No, I'm just talking.
Okay.
You see, now my battery is running low. Don't worry if I leave the group, hey? As I told you, I've got to go and sort the battery out, okay? The electricity.
Okay.
How much more do you want to show? How many more panels do you want to do? You've done body viewer, NLP. I would go to COPD.
Of course.
And
I'm happy.
Go to those ones. And then
short circuits, maybe a little bit of NLP. Then I would like to show you a couple of things at the nutrition panel. And if there are any more questions.
Then I think we've done enough. It's another 5 minutes or so. And then we will bring the rest in on one Saturday or something. We'll have a long session with everybody and really do some more. Just excuse me. I'm going to go and sort out the electricity.
Okay. In the meantime, I'm finishing here the adrenal balance, but is also like highly connected to the chronic fatigue, to the whole body circulation, breathing, and waking up the life force and the life energy for the body. There is a fantastic program in the EPR enhancement. If we don't have the time, or if we just would like to run a short session, then we can type in lungs, oxygen, breathing, and then we can connect these items to our bodies, our emotional, physical reactions, and we can run an overall treat and testing for everything. After this panel, I'm happy to show that, and the NLP panel. If there are any questions, what you would like to see, or if you have any questions to Desi, please share. Here you see the lung in the short SAR codes. You can also work here and maxify everything. And there is also an option for unconscious search right here on the right side. In the meantime, I can go back here to the body viewer and check on the organ systems and turn on the lungs. In the beginning, I also showed you how you can find the lungs here under the acupuncture, and we also added the increasing the chi force, the life force is also fantastic, and adrenals are also here in the body viewer for you to run a background program for everything. breathing and our lungs are highly important. And as Desiree says, oxygen is one of the most important nutrients what we have, because it is affecting our adrenals, affecting our whole circulation, our brain, our nerves. So it is very, very important to supply the whole body with enough oxygen. And I show you the EPR. We have here the patient superconscious reduction panel, and we just type in lungs, breathing, and we can start a superconscious link right here.
I'm back, Rita.
Okay, great. I'm showing the EPR enhancements right now. I showed a little bit of the short codes where everybody can find the lungs, and showed another
Perfect, yeah.
button in body viewer as well. And after this, I thought I would close it down with the NLP and then some rectifications, maybe life force, mental powers, or the Kundalini and the yoga.
Where do you do the Kundalini?
Yeah, the Kundalini is also, Desiree made a fantastic Kundalini electroceutical, what goes through the whole spine and helps people open up the breathing and the connection between the whole body and the gut and the brain.
Okay, fine.
These are all the reactions which are connecting with lungs and breathing in the EPR enhancement.
Mm-hmm.
And as Jane mentioned how important nutritions are, it is also shown that nutritional deficiencies is right here to see. And here is some advice from the machine, like primary natural plan for symptom reduction, nutritional therapy, balancing, star code therapy is recommended. And from here we can actually access the NLP, the homotox panel, the nutrition panel, and there are also specific affirmations right here for you to read.
And then there's also the Sarko thing where you did the emotions. Did you go there? We can read out if it's sadness or what the emotion may be.
Yeah, the real-time scan I'm happy to do after. I haven't done it yet.
You don't have to. I'm just saying, and we're just pointing out that under nutrition, when you go to Sarcode, you'll get the main emotions coming up too.
Yeah, and we can also show the real-time scan, what involves 3 panels, what need to be worked at one time. We can start them here in in the NLP panel, then we turn them on in body viewer and then in the big. And then they show the emotions connected to the body symptoms and physical reactions of the patient.
Mm-hmm.
Here I just push the button for unconscious reactivity, but here you can find several buttons for stress reduction, circulation, pain,
And in the matrix, you can also type in lung, right?
Yes, of course.
And then you will get a lot of information. In the nutrition panel, you can also type up in the lung, and it'll give you the foods that are absolutely important.
Yeah, that is in the nutrition
Just to
panel.
say.
Exactly, that's in the nutrition panel, of course.
Lots of cues. Again, there's not a methodology. It's just about knowing the panels and then moving from that point as the information comes through to you.
Yes, and I think it's important also to consultate with the patient constantly, and not only what Desi says, imagining what we would like to do and work on. It's important what the patient feels at the moment and where the patient's reactions are leading us to work forward.
I've got a few slides just now just to talk about some of the products that we use that work for circulation, nutrition, detoxification. Some of them are chemicals, some of them are fermented, the bee pollens. And just so that you know, in support of the quantum, the people can still detoxify the lungs and provide the nutrition to restore. So we detox and we nourish, and then we will rejuvenate the cells, the tissue, and the organ. Or organs for that matter, because they don't only work on one part of the body, hey?
Usually we do this until this rectifies 100, but as Jane said, we don't have the full longer time this moment, so I will now turn this off and show you the real-time scan for showing emotional and physical reactions. Sometimes when for this to work properly, all the programs have to stop for a second and then restart it again, because these programs, when we activate the real-time scan, they have to cooperate and work together in the same time. So when we would like to activate this and let this work, then we have to do it from the beginning in all the 3 panels. I chose here the meridian scan, and I'm going to body viewer. I start it here. And then I go to the big and start it right here. And additionally, we can also add a specific frequency for this. Not here, there is not, but usually we have the option to add the frequency. Oh yeah, vibrational music right here. And we can also treat
so let's see what it's telling us.
Okay.
Rita, look there on the right. We're seeing respiratory and we're seeing tonsils. Did you see that?
Yes. I'm seeing bladder channel right now.
It's almost like the, the big, and everything is working totally in sync with the body and knows exactly what to do. And as Desi was saying as well, way more things are happening that we are even seeing or experiencing.
That's why this program is so amazing, because it works complex in the same time on more items and more things.
Mm-hmm.
And we have 3 different types. We have meridian scan from this, we have chakra scan, and emotional scan from the real-time therapies. We can also check them in another session or in another Zoom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Would you like me to show anything else, Jane, or are we over?
No, I think we're done.
Okay.
I think that was absolutely fabulous, Rita. Thank you so much to you and Desi for your time, and just absolutely awesome having everybody with us this evening from literally around the world. And these will be recorded too. I just want to go through some slides with you that I've managed to pull through to potentiate and support everything that we're doing on the quantum here. Of course, you want to use totally, nature-made products, because they are, that is quantum medicine. It's food state, it's plant-based, and the body's innate ability to recognize natural foods and then heal will kick in. And you're wanting to put things into your body that enhance the energy, not leave you depleted. Your electrons mustn't be depleted. So you want to consume things that are high in life force to charge your battery. So in other words, the amount of energy to digest, metabolize, absorb these nutrients must be less than the energy you receive, the energy that's released. Hey, Rita?
Yes, I'm just wanted to make sure that this is rectified, and I'm closing down.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So that's everyone's saying amazing and thank you. So that was just awesome. Are you closing up?
Yeah. You would like Desiree to come in?
No, I think we are right. I think I just want to show the people some of the products, and we'll also be talking more on the products too, in case some of you want more information. It's also on the website, the 365 Healthy by Choice website. So these are some of the products that I put together, and all of these help with oxygenation, circulation, and the cell membrane potential. So apart from flaxseed oil, which I think is in the next slide, let me just have a look. Yes, there's actually the lung cleanse and restore. So I have got everything in here, but in terms of detoxification here, we've got the dimethyl sulfoxide, which is plant tree sap, and you'll see the sulfur for detoxification and the oxygen there in that molecule. It's a really enhanced liquid MSM. And we also have the Ormus Gold for detoxification and nourishment. This is the one that's got those superconductive metals in it, mineral metals, the gold, silver, copper, nickel, cobalt, iridium, platinum, osmium, ruthenium, palladium, etc. And these are the ones that will charge our battery, the adrenals in particular, and our battery, and should not be missed, because seldom do you get products containing all of these. So that's one of our flagship products anyway for detox and nourishment. We've got actually cell vitality oxy minerals there as well. We've also got cell oxygen in a capsule. So that really helps people who are struggling. The bee mix with the bee pollen also helps the transfer of oxygen. And here is the RNA, DNA, the 5 nuclear proteins I told you about. So all of this potentiates and enhances the quantum therapy. The Stress Defense Shield has got over 30 nutrients in it. It's got the cordyceps, the lion's mane, the blue-green algae, the Siberian ginsengs, etc., that I spoke about earlier too. So that just gives you a taste of, there's the medicinal mushrooms there and the algae, a taste of some of the products. We've got a nice lung cleanse and restore box here, which has got the oxygen, the lungs, lots of herbs here to clean and restore the lungs. This para-immune defense is absolutely critical because parasites will live when there's no oxygen. Mercury, metal, arsenic, etc. will remain in the body when there's low oxygen. So we need to bring in a product like this that's got the top antibacterial, fungal, and yeast in it to kill what's there. And then we can restore the genetic code there, restore the lung mucous membrane, the cell membranes, the tissue. So that's an option there. And that's on special at the moment. That's $133. And then here's the pack with the cell oxygen, the flaxseed oil, and the microbiome reset. That one is $44. So these ones work really, really well. You can get both of the packs, or just one, depending on what you have at home as well. But this will really fix somebody who's sitting with chronic lung problems and oxygen problems. And it just speeds up the reaction of the body to heal, the natural innate ability. And wearing something like the Time Crystal device, which is 24/7 scalar wave protection, this device, and I've said this many, many times before as well, this device, when I come near my microscope and somebody's blood is on there and it's clotted and it's thick, when I come close for, let's say, 2 minutes, the clot starts opening up just because of the proximity of this natural scalar wave battery time crystal. And that is direct evidence of the potential charge, right, that the time crystal is giving every single body that's wearing it and who's in the room, including plants, animals, and microbes. So absolutely essential for life force prana chi is this time crystal device, which Desi has developed, invented, and brought to the world. And when you have this dynamic energy field and you are in your still central point most of the time, you will then reach maximum health and everything will be functioning properly as well. So this time crystal is critical for in between the quantum software treatment sessions. And for every day, 24/7, literally keeping that potential, the electrical potential in the body and the cells apart, and maximizing oxygen absorption and energy production. And that means you will think clearly and live productively and be more able to release the emotional blockages. And that's what we've all found wearing these devices in one way or another. They assist with jet lag, they assist with radiation and EMF toxicity and other people's negative emotions, and also allowing the parasites and the heavy metals to lock into the body. So, we really do have everything that we do need. All of this is on the 365 Healthy by Choice website shop. You can contact me directly on the WhatsApp number too. And Desi, Rita, and myself are more than happy to run consultations. And also, on therapists too, to sort of sharpen their skills on any of the panels that they want to work with, or just do themselves, because sometimes it's quite nice to have someone help. So that's our bundle for today. As I said to you, I'm not in the big picture because it's a bit dark. So any other questions, please let us know. And yeah, just great to have everybody around. And, you know, Tuesday is always a surprise. And yeah, happy breathing, everyone. All the best. See you next time.